Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out, which are typically around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, I would not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if it feels like I'm talking about you, you need to check yourself, because I'm only talking about bad women that do bad things to good guys, and I teach the good guys how to spot the bad women.
Nigga, what?
If you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description, but can you go ahead and hit the notifications button right now? Okay, guys, a couple days ago, I did a video on Miss USA jumping from the building. All right, was a sad story, and it was a lot for everyone to learn from in that situation, especially when you see a beautiful girl go out like that. One that had the money, that had the notoriety, that people loved and cherished, but was still battling inner demons. Well, I came across an article of her mother. Her mother put out a statement earlier today, and when I seen a statement, I wanted to use this statement to elaborate, to explain to you guys what you're seeing in the modern women, right? All you see is a lot of attitude, but underneath that attitude and underneath this delusion that you see from them, there's a lot of other things that are going on with them. So Chelsea's mother said that Chelsea lived both a public and a private life, but in her private life, she was dealing with high functioning depression, which she said she hid from everyone, including her and the closest friends, until very shortly of her passing. All right, high functioning depression. This is the type of depression where a person can be depressed and normal at the same time. They appear very normal on surface, but then they are depressed behind the scenes. And then the other form of depression, that's regular depression, I would say, is when a person is tired all the time, they're moody as everywhere. When you see them, they're always down and out. That's where you can actually visually see the depression. Now, there are bigger words to describe this. There are deeper terms to describe this, but I just simplified it for you so everyone can understand what I'm saying.
Sit down, watch and learn.
When it comes to the high functioning depression, this is what you're about to see majority of the women have. Not all, because not all are seeking the same gratification, but majority of women are about to face this, where they appear very normal on surface, but behind the scenes, they're feeling just like Chelsea. Now you gotta realize, Chelsea just got the highest honor. She got Miss USA. How much higher can you go from there? She became a lawyer. How much higher can you go from there? So when it comes to the success part, she gained the success. She gained the independence. And when it comes to looks, she gained the highest gratification award that you can get, and that's Miss USA. This is what every girl is piling the makeup on for. This is what the filters on Instagram are for. It's to make the young ladies feel like they can be Miss America. And the simps that are in the DMs, those are the fans that are actually giving them the confidence so they should never feel ugly. But for some reason, it doesn't matter. The prettiest people in the world seem to be the most depressed, especially when it comes to beautiful women. Why are beautiful women the most depressed out of women, period? It seems like guys skip over the ugly girl to go to the pretty girls the same way women skip over the good guy to go to the bad ones. At some point, when they go back to the good guy later in life, they appreciate him more, and the good guy has learned a lot more. It's the same thing when the bad guys go back to the ugly women when they get older, because they didn't find a way to make themselves successful, so they have to settle with the ugly duckling. That's just how it is as an adult. But when it comes to most of the women that are pretty out here, you would ask yourself, like, why isn't these women married? Why do they not have families, and why are they so combative, and why they just can't be in a relationship? That's what we're going to be going over today, because this is why most women are suffering from high functioning depression. All right. For one, you have to understand, most women are hopeless romantics. All right. They're never going to get that knight in shining armor. They're never going to get the Tom Brady in the gazelle look. They're never going to get the suburbs white picket fence. They're never going to be able to take pictures of their families and send them out through the holidays, or be known as the cool family at church, or be known as the cool family around the world. They're never going to be there. So it's going to be a hopeless romantic due to the fact that their standards are extremely high. That's a form of depression that women are actually stuck to live out. Women can tell you all day long, I'm happy being single. I'm happy being single. No, you actually need companionship. Scientists have proven this. All right. Women need companionship in their life to keep from being depressed. This is how come, like, when women move to new neighborhoods, they can find friends fast. When a woman wants a new friend, all she has to do is compliment another girl. You've been around women before. You've seen how they work. Whenever they want a new friend, they either give her a tip, give her some advice, right? Or they find a way to compliment them or share some type of trauma bonding story. Once they become friends with the new girl and they trauma bond with the new girl, they have a new best friend. Why? Because women always need the companionship. It's just that now women are sick of being friends with women. As they get older, women want to be around less women. That's why you see so many 35 and 40-year-old women that are always by themselves. They're not hanging out with groups of women because they're hopeless romantics. We're living in a world now, it's going to be almost impossible for a woman to get a huge wedding. It's going to be almost impossible for you to get that knight in shining Tom Brady type of guy that walks into your life, due to the conditions that the world is in. So most of these women now are battling depression because they are hopeless romantics, and they know this. All right. This is what women like Cheslie are going through. I'm talking about the pretty girls. You have to understand now, the ugly girls always have a better personality. The out of shape woman always has a better personality. They can deal with stress a hell of a lot better and a hell of a lot longer. Trust me, because they're used to being the underdog. But when it comes to the pretty girls, their expectations out of life are far beyond their imagination. That they start to realize, like, life is not a fairy tale book the older they get. Next thing that women are suffer from is that most guys only want to sleep with them, and they know it. All right. You have to understand that the women that have accepted it are leveraging it, which means that they're putting a price on it. And when they make a couple of dollars, they got to spend the money to keep looking youthful. So now you got the BBLs. Now you got the plastic surgery. Now you got the makeup. Women are pretty much programming themselves to looking younger and to looking pretty just so they can get the money out of guys, because truthfully, that's where guys are at now. They're rather just sleep with you. They're not trying to get married. The simps are. The guy that she doesn't want is. And that's the part that terrifies women, is that they don't want to settle for a simp. The only type of women that are going to settle for simps are going to be like the strippers, the OnlyFans girls. They're going to be the ones that settle for the simp because they have to find rich simps. They have to find men who cannot control their emotions but have money so they can get the money out of those guys. So that's why you're going to see a lot of these women that do have the guys, they're going to have really, really, really weak men that when they go to break up with these guys, bad things are going to happen. But the average guy out there who can actually control his emotions, he's been desensitized than that guy. That simp is still going hyper when he sees a woman's booty, when he sees a breast, when he sees her look. But most men are looking deeper than the look now, and they're looking more into a woman's actions. So guys are just kind of like, well, I know I don't want to get married. I know I'm not getting ready to have kids just based off the world that we live in now. Most guys fear having a daughter. That's one of the main reasons why they don't want to have kids. So they just want to sleep with the women, which is true. This is what society has programmed the brains of people to do. They programmed the men to worship the women. Women had a good 5 to 6 years strong of Simp City, making all kind of money, getting everything they want. Now we live in a world now where those simps have gotten smarter, and a lot of men have gotten smarter. So the simps that are still on the market that have the money are really, really weird simps, like no type of personality simps, and that's what women are left with. That's very depressing when a woman feels like her value is extremely high and the type of guy that she wants, she'll never get. So being that she'll never get the guy she wants, she'll never live out the life that she want to live. So a lot of them are just like, why am I here? That's what they're going to face in 2022. You're going to see a lot of people that's going to ask themselves like, why am I here? What is there left for me to do on this earth? You got to have an imagination. You got to be able to think and reinvent yourself as a person in order to create a new life. Most successful people know this, but a lot of women, I told you, they don't have an imagination. Not too many girls have an imagination. If it ain't talking about sex and they're not surrounded by beta males so where they can do anything they want, they pretty much don't have any power at all unless it has to deal with something sexual. And that's real talk. And one of the most depressing things is once they figure out that they would never have that picture frame lifestyle, that's when they say to themselves, I can't lower my standards. That's going to be the most depressing to women, is when they realize that the type of guy that they want, they're never going to get. They're going to come to a realization of this as they start to pile on the weight and they start to look in the mirror. They start to see the wrinkles. They start piling the makeup over the wrinkles, and then they start looking at their options, and they're going to realize all the real dudes are gone, and you're just left with simps that you don't like. So now it's like, I got to find the simp that has the most money now so she can settle. That's where they are at, but not too many are going to lower their standards unless they start getting fat. If she's still out here 35, 40 years old, in the gym, eating healthy, looking good, her depressed levels are going to go high. If she doesn't have an imagination, most women can't think. They're not really artists. They don't come up with new ideas to do things. They just get freakier in bed. Pretty much. The older they get, the more freakier they get in bed because they have less of imagination. All right. And I just wanted to go ahead and break that down so you guys get a good idea as to what you're seeing in society with modern women, just based off of Cheslie Kryst. And this is a sad story because she's Miss America. Like, you wouldn't even expect her to go through it, especially after knowing that every Miss America before you is married with children. All right, this is Anthony Spade. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hit the notifications button. If you like these type of videos, get in the comments. Hasta la vista.